Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be taking a look at not one but two watches. These are the two watches that we'll be taking a look today. This is the SNKL 29J1 and this is the ever so special SNKH 39J1. So these watches are slightly more special than the previous Seiko 5 that we took a look at the first video. Do you remember or do you spot what could be the difference? Yes, that's right. These two watches actually have the J1 prefixes. That means these are the JDM made in Japan Seiko 5 models. So we'll be taking a look at what's so special about them, especially this one. Stay tuned to watch out and we'll see which watch suits you more. So let's go into the video. Okay, so let's take a look at the watch. So starting with the Seiko SNKL 29J1 right here. Yep. So we can start with the dial. So the watch actually has Roman numeral indices. However, these are not applied. These are printed, as you can see on the sunburst dial. Silver sunburst, very beautiful looking dial. It catches the light. And then there are silver lines in the middle, stripes, which very well accentuates the sunburst dial as well to this design. Gives it a very dressy vibe to it. And then moving on, we can see just below the Roman numeral indices, we can see lume pips, applied lume pips. So yeah, here for all of the 12 indices, and the hour and minute hands have fully applied lume except for the seconds hand. So for a dressy watch, this is definitely very respectable. So moving on to the case, we actually have 18mm case width with 45.4mm lug to lug, and a 37 to 38mm case diameter size. And then going on to the materials and finishing. So on the sides, we have a very nice brushed look. Definitely not up to the higher priced Seiko models, but very respectable for the price, so for the sub $200 price. And then we have shiny polished bevels on the edges here, right here. And then we are back to the brushed finish on the top. We have domed bezel, polished. We have a day-date function in this Seiko as per all Seiko 5 models with a 4 o'clock crown. Okay, now we will be moving on to discuss the bracelet of this watch. This watch comes with folded links bracelet as per most of the Seiko 5 models. However, this follows a Jubilee style bracelet similar to the Seiko SKX dive watch, which is a pretty nice design. And it has hollow end links, as you can see from here, just like every single Seiko 5 model, hollow end links. And it has pressed clasp with a stamped upper. However, what is special about this stamped clasp, unlike many other Seiko 5 models, is the Japan etching, which is pretty neat in the JDM models. One other Easter egg in the JDM models would be the Japan etching on the rotor of the watch. Right here. Japan, it says right here. Alright, so to conclude on the bracelet, even though this watch has a nice looking bracelet, the folded links design would naturally catch arm hairs. Even though this has a very light bracelet, keeps the watch very lightweight and easy. Okay, so moving on to the SNKH 39J1. This was the most well-awaited watch for this episode. So this watch, as you may already notice, and you may already know, actually has the same case size, the case shape as the SNXS series. So it follows the same case code of the SNXS, has the same fully polished case on all sides, and the very popular or infamous thick case back. So this contributes to its 12mm thickness compared to the other watch, which was only 10.7mm. So now let's get into the dimensions. This watch actually is 38mm and 42mm lug to lug. The lug size would be 19mm, which would be a pain to resize, or to find different straps. But since this watch follows the same case design as the SNXS, it should be relatively easier since there's really some aftermarket parts or straps and bracelets are already available for the SNXS market. Okay, so this watch actually has a very unique dial, if you may notice. So this watch has a 3D-like cubic dial on the middle and a sunburst effect on the sides, on the outer part of the dial. And it has applied indices with the applied Roman 12 and 6 hour numerals and lume pips for each hour markers. And there's applied Seiko and the 5 shield logo, like every Seiko watch. And there's lume applied to the hour and minute hands, the lume pips. Yep. So there's not much to say about lume in Seikos. They are one of the best in the industry. Not even in this price range. Nothing in this price range beats a Seiko. And so let's move on to the bracelet now. So the bracelet actually follows a oyster style bracelet, but the good thing about this bracelet actually compared to other Seiko models is that these are not hollow links, or folded links I should say. These are hollow links. These hollow links would lend yourself to use push pin systems for readjustments rather than the folded system where you have to push out that fork thing, and it would catch a lot of dirt from sweat and it will be very hard to access in the first place. But this watch still has the same hollow end links, and the pressed upper with a stamped clasp, and the same Japan etched onto it as a Easter egg in all of these JDM Seiko 5 models, and Japan etched on the rotor of the movement as well, right there. Alright, so that will be it. So now we have taken a look at both of these two watches. So this watch, the SNKL 29J1, is definitely more popular and more widely available on the internet for a cheaper price. Especially different straps could also be available through the Uncle Seiko website with that would allow you to swap out the jangly folded strap, folded links bracelet, metal bracelet for a better solid link one with solid end links as well. Compared to this watch, which you would not be able to find, or so you would think. Actually, this SNKH 39J1 is very similar to the also popular Seiko SNXS series, which actually Seiko has just brought a reissue of better design and more solid construction. But what the internet goers call this the Seiko SNXS Datejust, which takes a reference to a different, more premium brand, Rolex to be more particular. However, this watch has a different dial from the SNXS but follows the same case code 0480, a bit more nerdy. But if you look at the back of the case back of the watch, the case back of the watch, after the movement at 7S26, there should be a dash, and then you should be able to see the case code. It should say 0480, which is the same as the Seiko SNXS. So that lends us to the fact that this watch would be as easy to find parts for or accessories for as this watch as well, due to the fact that this shares the same specifications in terms of case with the ever more popular SNXS. However, this watch has arguably a bit more unique dial compared to that, a bit more formal nevertheless. So these two watches still have a 7S26 movement, is a workhorse, and depending on which design you prefer, you may pick up either one in some of these aftermarket grey market websites such as Jomo Shop, for instance, or Ashford, or even your local retailer, which may still have some leftover stocks of the old Seiko 5s. And if you prefer the new Seiko SNXS model, the Seiko 5 SNXS model, a bit weirdly named by Seiko, is also available for a slightly higher price, which would be similar in case shape to this one, the SNKH39G1. So that'll be it. Thank you for watching.